Yo, mic check, mic check. You hear me good, bro?
Oh yeah, I'm hearing you well. You hear me?
Okay. Oh yeah. We live. You are watching Quest Convo, where we talk the culture because we are the culture. I'm Drew SoulQuest.
And I'm Dev Devious.
Yeah, man. How you feeling over there, man? I noticed you sound a little under the weather a little bit.
Yeah, this damn weather change and shit is
Yeah.
it's sneak up on you. I don't know. I've been doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I've been putting my shit on and having my coats and my hats on, and it still don't matter. It still got me a little bit.
Yeah. We in that weird that's that Midwest shit. We in that weird phase where like here this weekend, yesterday was literally 85, today is like 80 something, but then starting Tuesday on the rest of the week shit gonna be in the 50s. So yeah, that
Yeah,
is that
and then
shit that
don't
gets you
don't forget
sick.
don't forget it's gonna snow too. So that
Right.
part too.
Probably be a damn blizzard and shit.
It's gonna snow while it's 62 degrees outside.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's how my situation happens.
For real. That's why I say, man, this weather, it's I just pretty much you gotta wait till June. June is like wherever you at in the
Hmm.
world, June
It's
pretty
good,
much, yeah, it's gonna be warm and stay warm. But before
but that's
that,
trash.
any yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah, before
trash.
it's all over, I gotta stay somewhere where it's just warm every day. That shit just makes me feel better.
Hmm.
Shit, for
And
sure.
then on top of that, you only get 4 months of the shit anyway. The whole rest of the
Right.
year cold as hell, and then you get four little sprinkle of hot. So we get June to the middle of September, and then it's right back to the shit.
Yeah,
That's why I
exactly.
can't be here.
Yeah, no, not at all. Hey, we want to thank y'all, man, for tuning in, supporting Quest Convo. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you comment, and definitely make sure you hit that notification bell so you are informed whenever we drop this dope shit for you to enjoy and watch. Hear these hip hop connoisseurs' perspective and all that good shit. Also, do not forget, check out dopesthip-hop-tees.com. Once again, dopesthip-hop-tees.com are tees and hoodies that are created for cool people that love hip hop, and they are created by cool people that love hip hop. So once again, I'm gonna keep pushing it. Whether you new school, old school, we got something for you without a doubt. Also keep in mind, we are people that are from the culture. We know the culture, we support the culture, and we support the movement versus a lot of these companies that push the hip-hop demographic, sell us all kind of shit, get us all our money. They're tone deaf, they don't know about the culture, they don't understand it, and they just, their whole goal is just to get the money, and they really don't care about the culture. It's just the opposite. At Dopest Hip Hop Tees, like I said, we are from the culture, about the culture. Y'all make sure you get familiar. Most podcasts y'all see, I'm wearing something from the line. Right now, the main line that is being pushed is the Iconic series. It's just basically dedicated. It's self-explanatory. It's dedicated to some of the iconic forces, some of the iconic people that have really molded this game. So y'all definitely check it out, support it, tell a friend about it. We always got some kind of deals and sales and different things going on, but like I said, I think it's important to have a brand that is really for the culture, from the culture. So y'all support dopesthipHopTees.com.
Without
Yeah. We work to work, you late to work, I holla and they send it. You know my pride was colder than Chicago in December.
Yo, we are back. Just had to have a little commercial break. So yeah, today we are going to talk about some of the good rappers with bad beats. Some of the great rappers with bad beats. Some of the rappers that they are still active, still current, they're still great. Some of them coulda went further, a lot further in their career if they woulda had a better beat selection, and some of them are still around, still doing their thing. I don't know why my mic went extra damn high. Turn this down right now.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
uh, some of them are still around, and, it doesn't necessarily take away from their greatness. It's just, it makes a difference with them having a consistent catalog. My whole take on it, I'm taking it way back. Um, the music, the beats in hip hop are super important. I'm gonna take it back to the beginning. DJ Kool Herc, the creator of this hip hop culture we love so much, he was a DJ. A rapper didn't quote unquote create hip hop. A DJ created hip hop. The early days, the DJs were the ones that really they were kind of the stars when it came down to it, where it was like it was Grandmaster Flash and them. It was DJ Kool Herc and them. It was, Run DMC. Jam Master Jay was just as big a part of the group than they was. You had Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince. Like the DJ in the early days, they were just as big of a star as the actual rapper was because the music and the beats is super, super important. I've said that before. It don't matter what you rapping about. It don't matter how skilled you are, how deep it is, how entertaining your flows are. If that beat is not hitting, your message is not going to be translated the way you want it to. It's just not.
Nah,
Yeah. Like,
I 100% agree.
yeah. I've said that before where it's like I've seen like certain rappers when they do either some positive music or they do something with a theme to it, they feel like they have to dumb down the production. And I'm just like, why? Like the beat, that's how a lot of these rappers, some that we don't even care for, that's how they do their thing. Cause they ain't talking about shit and they flows are not skilled. But guess what? They beats is hard as hell. So the beat is gonna draw the people in and give them a chance to be heard. People are gonna be more willing to open their ear because they hearing this beat that's hard as hell. Now they may be talking about some shit and they may not be talking about nothing. And we've seen that time and time again in hip hop where yeah, motherfuckers have made hits and became stars because they got hard ass beats and they got some swag. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So
and
that
that's
just,
it.
yeah,
That's all
that
you
just
need.
goes to prove how important the beat is. When guys or girls are vibing, when they in the club, when they in the car, they're not dancing to your words. They not grooving to your words. They're grooving to the music, to the beat that was created to support the words that are being said. So
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that because that's how I digest music anyway. If I can't, and it's any type of music. If I can't get with the melody of the song or the beat, I don't like it because I don't like the beat. I gotta like what I'm listening. I gotta like how it sounds for me to digest everything else. So
exactly.
I 1000% agree with that. And I know that was kind of like the first thing I noticed about getting into music and stuff anyway was the beat. I was like, do it sound like something I want to sit here for 3 or 4, 5, however long you finna be doing this and listen to what you got to say, you know? And that's like
Hmm.
really, yo, that's kind of like y'all, they business card and let me know, like, okay, is this somebody that I'm gonna want to? And then, as you listen to whatever mixtape, whatever album, the continuance of those good beats or those good sounds, do you have more than just one? Do you have more of these that make me want to just continue to listen to you? So yeah, 1000% agree. It's a huge part of it. It basically wouldn't be no hip hop without the beat because then it'd just be poetry, and we don't want that. We want the hip hop and the rap. So
Exactly. Exactly. Um, So I'll go ahead and start with my list. I'm gonna kind of fly through it. I know you may have some of these on your list, or you may not. If you do have any of these on your list, you can kind of get your 2 cents as well, whether you agree or not.
All right.
So first on my list is cannabis. So to this day, um, cannabis is he is one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my life. He's one of the most deepest, most complex, one of the just super entertaining, super like skilled, was born to do this shit type rapper to me. 1998, his first album. It was just self-titled. It was called Can I he broke it down Can I Bust, which is still his name, Cannabis. When I first heard this album, I could not get enough of it. I played it backwards, forwards. It was everything to me. Um, a little bit after that, he came with the 2000 BC um album. That was like a little 2001. Then he got to, let me see, Mike Club. That was 2002. I'm gonna say I kind of fell off maybe with him maybe like 2003, 2004. He was that was Rip the Jacker. That was like the last album. So I'm noticing as he was progressing, I'm just like, why is the production just going to hell? Like the first album, every beat on there just raw. Now I don't know if that, because I know the first album, I think like Wyclef was kind of involved with his process, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. But yeah, just moving forward, man. After 2003, and keep in mind, the dude has been super active. Like you look at his uh his discography, it's like, man, let me see. Bruh, the dude probably got like 30 projects, maybe more, 30, 40 projects. I mean, he got hella work. And but the beat selection, when even when I try to like dive back into a lot of this stuff I've missed after 2004 or give it another chance, I'm just like, yeah, your flow and shit is still there, but bro, the beats, I can't.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm just
Terrible.
like, what are you doing? And it's just like the question you asked earlier, like, do the artists like pick their own beats? And he's the kind of artist where he hasn't really been on like a label like that. He's been a little bit more independent. So I feel that he has more freedom to kind of pick, you know, what beats or whatever you want to do. And that he's just been falling short, I don't get it. But dude is super skilled. Next one on my list, I got Royce the 5'9". Royce the 5'9", super underrated. Another one, just one of the best to ever do it. I'ma say with Royce, so album wise, I really didn't. I've always peeped his lyrical skill. Um, Eminem is his guy, and just pound for pound, he was almost better than Eminem to me on a lot of aspects. But I'm gonna say, so 2004, that was his Death is Certain album. Now that was a quality piece of work. Now he, and keep in mind, Roy's been active since like '98 as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Death is Certain album, that was 2004. I was definitely fucking with that. Uh, the Independence Day album in 2005 was decent. Uh, 2009, the Street Hop, I was messing with that. And then from there, 2011 as well. Success is Certain. That was
Oh
another
yeah,
dope
that
one.
was it. That was the
Yeah,
one right there.
yeah. At that point, that was like I'm like, okay, this is Royce's best album. When I heard that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So you know if you're familiar with that one, yeah. Um, and then everything in between and everything after that was just like once again
What are you doing?
what are you doing with the damn production? It was kind of real. I'm like, Royce, you a talented MC. You are one of the best in the game. I'm like, why are you allowing whatever the process is, whether there's a label involved, whether there's another producer, A&R, whoever is in your circle that's helping you with your process and how you do things. Why are you being okay with these beats that are like just not hitting? Like you think your shit's gonna be heard like that? So then, yeah, after 2011, it was just kind of, and then another one. So 2016 came. So from 2011, 2016, everything in between was very lukewarm, very mediocre as far as the beats. 2016, it did pick up because Trust the Shooter, that was another dope album. Layers was another dope album. Then it just kind of, then he, for another couple years, the stuff in between, then that's when, he teamed up with DJ Premier and did them Prime albums. Now, that was dope because it's Premier and he knows Royce's value. So he was coming with some of the most basement, underground, grimy hip hop shit he could come with. And
Yeah.
then you go from that to, I will give him like 2020. And it's so crazy. So crazy. So this artist been around at this point 20 plus years. And the album he drops in 2020, to me, the Allegory that he dropped in 2020, besides the collaborative albums with DJ Premier and the Prime stuff, the Allegory was his best album to date, in my opinion. Second of all, Royce himself produced the whole album. And I'm just like, all these years, you
Yeah.
ain't been fucking with the production. He basically said that when he started getting involved with DJ Premier and they was doing them Prime projects, that Premier kind of to a certain extent taught him how to produce. And he took it from there and just started learning and started making beats and just instantly became good as fuck at it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I just thought that was highly remarkable that an artist 20 years in, you just learn to produce and then you produce the best album of your whole career. I just thought that was like remarkable as hell. Like,
Yeah.
wow. Like, nigga, you should have been learned. Your whole trajectory could have been different. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I'm gonna go next with Nas. Now I've heard multiple people say this through the years.
Oh,
Nas, yeah, I know you have. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
Nas,
Go ahead.
Nas is the GOAT. Nas is, you cannot take that away from him. He's a true wordsmith, and I'm gonna say so. Nas, he go back to '94. Of course, Illmatic is a hands down classic. So I'm gonna say Illmatic, it was written, I Am, and Stillmatic. So Stillmatic was 2001. Now everything after that was just like, no. Like it
Well,
was
that ain't
just
fair. That ain't fair. I like Godson. Godson has some stuff on it.
uh
And Street Disciple has some. They had some songs on
let
there.
me see. Let me see.
'Cause I know
So
the Street Disciple. I remember vividly. I remember when I was a kid. You was walking around just going off to the Street Disciple. I remember that.
Let me look at
I
Street
I,
Disciple.
I
Let
remember
me
you was
see.
going off to the Street Disciple, and then Hip
Street
Hop is Dead came out.
Disciple.
It has some stuff on there too. But yeah, I know what you was talking about when he started getting towards that Untitled era and the yeah and all that. I was like, Nas, what the hell is going on, son? You all
Right.
right, buddy? You know,
Yeah.
I was just like, what is he? What's he getting at here?
Right.
And he kept on though. I give him credit. He stayed up. He stayed with it, and he put out a couple more albums where I was just like questionable beats. And then
Yeah.
he made it through and got back with Kanye and got with was it Hit Boy or Hit Maker on this last one?
No. Hit Boy.
Hit
Hit
Boy, that's who
Boy.
he got with.
Man.
That's who he got with. Yeah, brought Nas all the way back to life.
I'm talking
Gave
about
him a fourth win.
Hit Boy then gave him just a whole nother life for real. Like all these years you've been rapping, you in the game, shit, damn near 30 years, and Hit Boy and his production gives you your first Grammy, bro. After almost
Yeah,
30 years, that
yeah.
says a lot.
And this nigga ain't even been producing that long, has he?
So Hit Boy, he kind of like
It
one
ain't
of
nowhere
them.
near as long as Nas. I
Oh
mean,
no
as far as
no,
that, so it ain't nowhere near as
no
long as that.
no,
So
like 10 years, 12 years, somewhere up
yeah,
in
I'm about to
there.
say it had to be within the last 10 years. So a relatively newer nigga with the production gets you your first Grammy. That says a lot.
Yes.
That
And
says a
and
lot.
King's Disease 1 and 2 are great bodies of work. They both got some shit on it. Yeah.
And did that kind of speak for itself though? To to know that you ain't got one Grammy, and you Nas, and we saying this, and you ain't got one Grammy, yo, until like literally just within the last 3-4 years. That's
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, how can you not say that your beat selection or something didn't at least play a part in that?
Exactly.
Why you it's like I feel like it's impossible. You can't say it didn't at least play some kind of part or something into why you don't have a Grammy or why you just now getting one.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's a little bit of half and half. I mean, obviously, even now, 2022, where it's always been friction with the hip hop culture, hip hop music, hip hop community, and the Grammys, where they was just once again old ass white people, tone deaf to really what's going on. So the Grammys or the hip hop that they were recognizing was just like the super mainstream Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince parents don't understand ass shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If it wasn't like super commercial, super like that, they weren't even acknowledging it. So
right.
that played a big part in it because Nas ain't even that kind of artist. Just in the last couple of years, where they're kind of really getting more into where we got like Nas is being nominated and Royce is being nominated and Freddie Gibbs that never has had a radio song ever in life is being nominated. They got their ear a little bit more to what's really popping in the
Going
culture right
on,
now.
right.
Yeah. Um Razcast. He's the next one on the list.
I
Are
ain't
you
heard that
familiar with
nigga's
him?
name. Yes, I'm familiar with him. I just ain't heard that nigga's name in a century.
For real.
Yeah, it was like he is the epitome. If Rascast, if he is, you had to be there as a rapper. If you had to be there was one rapper, it would probably be Rascast. You had to be there for Rascast, or you just wasn't gonna get it. That's kind of what I got from that. Because he got them bars all day, every day. But
Oh my God.
but
Hey,
them
you hit it right on the head. To be honest, I'ma say like damn near like out of everybody on this list, he might be like number one. Like he might be number one. I mean Razkaz, that dude just as good as your favorite rapper. Just as good as many people's favorite rappers. Super deep, super complex. He really kind of remind me, he kind of like, how can I say it? Like like the Ab Soul of his time. If you think about how Ab Soul is, Ab Soul be complex for your ass and drop some. He's super entertaining, but he be complex and deep with your shit, with his shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
how
just think he was go ahead.
that's how Razcast was, and bruh, I'm talking about. I can probably pick out on one hand the songs that really have had some dope beats to support his shit. Like I know he was messing with Dr. Dre for a minute, and he did have kind of like a radio
Really?
hit. That song, yeah. He had a song. It was called Ghetto Fabulous, and Dr. Dre had did the beat, and that was actually they had like a video for it. They was playing that shit on the radio. That's the only like real mainstream stuff he's done. And then he's had a few songs here and there, but he's like the epitome of this whole subject we talking about today. Is super
Mm-hmm.
skilled. It's no way as talented as he is. If he would have had better production, better beats, or just whatever worked out, whatever he did with Dr. Dre, and and stayed with on that train, he definitely would have went further. He would be mentioned when we talking about the Nas's and the Black Thoughts and all these great people. He would definitely be mentioned. He's definitely the epitome of not having the correct beats to further your career. Out of everybody on this damn list I got, for real, it's a shame.
Yeah. He I don't know. It's kind of, and what I'm starting to notice, I couldn't really understand it when I was kind of coming up. But now that I'm 30 now, I'm a little bit older. I'm seeing some things. It's almost like when I see certain rappers like that, the incredibly complex or the super, bars over entertainment value kind of guys. Um, I just noticed that it's kind of hard to really make a beat for that. It's
Hmm.
kind of hard because how do you, because with rappers like that, their impact and their value is in what they're saying more so than what they saying it to, or more so how they sound or anything. It's just really all about what they saying and how, if you can process and comprehend what they're trying to say. And how do you not create a situation where you don't want the beat to take away from what he's trying to say, or overpowering them or something like that. It's just, I feel like it's kind of hard to kind of build around that, if you can understand what I'm saying. Cause
Uh,
I
to
don't,
kind of to a certain extent, I see what you're saying, but then I'll take it back once again to Ab Soul. I don't think I've ever heard Ab Soul is, as far as the rappers that came out in the last 10 years, he's definitely probably one of the more deeper, complex, making you think ass rappers. I haven't heard that dude on a bad beat. He be dropping the deepest knowledge, the deepest metaphors and scenarios over some fire ass tracks. I haven't heard that dude over a bad beat.
he might be the exception to the rule. He
Yeah.
might just be he might be the exceptions to the rule. Some dudes are outliers like that. They can actually get it off. I think Jizza is another one who can get it off, and
Mm.
it don't sound like that. But he has the benefit of mostly RZA / Wu-Tang production for a good chunk of his career. So who doesn't that not help out? But yeah, I just think that kind of got a lot to do with it. Cause I mean, maybe maybe he figured, people who listening to me, they don't, maybe they want to hear the beat or whatever, but maybe they not, as into it. They hear what I got to say. Maybe not so much the beats. Maybe that is it. I don't know.
Yeah. Cause a lot of these cats, I just be like, nigga, if you call yourself a rapper, if you call yourself a performing artist, all these other things, like you can, how can you not act like the beat don't matter just because your words are so deep? It's almost like if you're gonna once again call yourself a rapper, a performing artist, it's a package. Whether we like to say it or like to admit it or whatever, it's the flows, it's the beats, it's how you look. It's a full package. Even though a lot of times I try to look past that and be like, I wish I could see the narrative change, and the substance does matter, and all those things are true. I still have to even catch myself and go back to, it matters. If once again, if you call yourself a rapper, a performing artist, and you trying to do your thing, your appearance, your flows, and your beats, they all matter. It all goes hand in hand. Because outside of that, nigga, if you just gonna rely on your words, nigga, go write a book of poetry, go be a spoken word artist, nigga, and do your little thing at the
Be a
spoken word.
motivational speaker.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Shit, yeah, that's.
Well, let me throw this. Let me throw this at you because this is something else I thought about too. As far
Mhm.
since we're on that part of it, when it comes to these beats and some of these rappers, what if it's some of these rappers is getting that main character syndrome of where they get a beat and maybe they like it, but then they thinking
Mm,
because I like this shit, they gonna like this shit.
mm. That's
Because that would explain how you can do that shit for such a prolonged period of time. Because because you got to think about. I mean, no, but I mean, think about it though. Rappers are probably some of the most cockiest niggas you gonna ever meet in your life.
mm-hmm.
You got, and to get to where we know them, where me and you know them, and people like us who are listening to this. Hey y'all, who are listening to this, yeah, you got to be something. You got to, and then you got to be able to have that confidence to, whether it's beef or going up against somebody or being on a song with other niggas, you got to have that confidence and belief in yourself. So it's not too much of a stretch to say that while you need those things, you can't have an overabundance of those things too, or have a surplus of those things to the where you can do some shit like that. Well, I like these beats, and these beats is the shit to me. So that must mean that these niggas gonna like this shit too, because I like this, and I think highly of the beats I pick. So why wouldn't these niggas not like it? I think you might
Mm.
have I think it might be a good healthy dose of that shit going on too.
Uh, that is a great point that you touched upon, because it's definitely that's what's been going on. Um, cause like I said, at the end of the day, the rapper definitely has say so and some control over the beats that they pick, no matter the situation. So yeah, they be like, yeah, thinking this shit is dope because you know what I mean, and depending on the kind of people you got around you, and we already know how the rap world goes and the circle of the rap niggas go, more times than none, they surrounded by a whole bunch of yes man ass niggas, a whole bunch of niggas they helping or taking care of, or they part of the entourage and love the whole lifestyle, the bitches and the money in the club and all that shit. So they just gonna be a whole bunch of yes man. It could be the most bootiest song ever. Man, that shit hard, bro. Yeah, man, that shit hard. So that don't help either. I know they surrounded by a whole bunch of yes men that ain't telling them like, hey, bro, that's not the
That's
one, man.
trash. Cause
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
niggas, cause you ain't no real friend if you letting some of this shit come out.
yeah.
I would I would feel some
And
kind of way. Yeah, like
yeah, and I just don't get it. Like when I had my music stint and I'm rapping, I cause to me, there's so how it breaks down. To me, it breaks down like this. Like you got what you like, I got what I like, but then somewhere in the middle, it's that undeniable shit where no matter what kind of hip hop you like, no matter what, like that shit is just undeniable. Like you're gonna like that beat.
yeah,
Like well, I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head.
flavor in
Like
your ear.
yeah, flavor in your ear. Uh Say for example, like Kendrick, "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe." You can't hear
Yeah,
that beat and just be like, "Oh, that beat is whack." You
here
can't.
I go by Mystical.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
It's
certain
just
things
timeless. Yeah,
are like undeniable, and I just feel like it would be a better situation if every artist approach your creative process like that. if this shit is not undeniable to me, I'm not fucking putting it out. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I just think maybe it'd be just a creative structure where maybe they only focus on like 2 songs like that because they just want their club song and their radio song, and the rest is just like little fillers just for the project or whatever. I don't know. Everybody's approach is different, but yeah, I think if
And
everybody approach, oh, go ahead.
well, no, I was just gonna say I just want to throw something else out on you too. Because I don't know if that's have like number of albums and how many projects you got to do. Has that always been a part of music contracts, or is that more of like a newer type of deal or newer type of thing?
Oh no, that's always been part of the contract. Yeah, this
Okay.
many years, we want this many projects out of you. Yeah.
Okay, boom. So how do we know niggas ain't just doing that and just funneling some shit out for the sake of the contract? Well, why don't we talk about that too? Since we talking about shit, and
Hey,
like, well, nigga, I want to get the fuck out this contract. So just put some shit together in that shit I had from the vault from 6 years ago, and let's get this on the road.
oh shit. Now, that's some real shit too that has been discussed many a times, but usually you don't see that until uh like say they in a contract with this label and like they about to get off that label and this is the last project that they have to do fulfilling a little, they contractual agreement. And this be
Right.
the last project in that contract that they got to put out. Usually that's when you kind of see that, like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what it sound like, what it is. I'm about to be done with y'all niggas. Just put this shit out so I can move on. Now
And get
you
out my contract.
usually,
Yep.
yeah, now you usually see that with the last uh project of the
Album.
contract, because at that point, if they've been out some years, they've made their impact, they got their fan base, they've done their thing, so it don't matter like that. But you usually don't see it before that because it's like, yeah, I'm in this contract, but shit, I'm still trying to build a fan base and build a career and build up my worth. So when I do leave or whatever, I'm good. So you usually don't see that to the last project or whatever. But yeah,
Okay.
it happens for sure.
Because that's something I straight thought about too. Because if you're not caring how it sound, or if you ain't got no input and you just telling a whole bunch of interns and assistants just put some shit together and throw it together and put it out, why would you care how the beat sound or how it's arranged or anything like that? So
Right.
I think that's certain little things you got to think about when it come into the. And it's crazy because before this conversation that we having today, I never even would have thought about these different types of scenarios of being a
Hmm.
possibility. You would just think niggas just suck at picking beats.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely it's different situations. It's always different scenarios or whatever. Just like what you were saying, where a lot of times the niggas just think the beat is dope, and
Right.
they,
And then because I think it's dope, niggas gonna think it's dope too.
yeah. So
So
yeah. So the next on the list, and I know a lot of, I know between both of us, we got some of the same people or whatever. So, when we get to yours, we'll kind of discuss some of the ones I ain't have and go from there. But I know you said like Lupe is on your list.
yeah, Lupe is definitely one,
Yeah,
and that's
Lupe,
just, it's a damn shame.
it is. Lupe is special. But let me see.
And
Let me
it's
get this.
crazy because while you doing that,
Mhm.
just for me to speak on Lupe, I actually don't think Lupe has bad beat selection. I just think that he has is bad in the sense of it won't cross over. Like if you're not a true fan of
Mm,
Lupe, if you're not a true fan of Lupe or appreciate Lupe, you wasn't gonna care about his beats and shit. No way.
mm,
That's kind of how I feel about Lupe with his beat selection. Now I will now lasers. We're not gonna spend too much time on lasers. Yeah, it was some trash beats on there, but as a whole, he don't really put out bad beats in my opinion. I just think that outside of his core fan base or his people who really appreciate hip hop and have a respect for Lupe, like I said, you not gonna care for the beats that he is spitting on, whether they was good or bad anyway, because what he's spitting, you not trying to hear. So
Okay. I feel you on that. But I'm just looking at his discography. So I'm gonna go back. Lupe came out around 2010. First time I heard him was on the Touch the Sky joint with Kanye. That's when
yeah, that's the
Kanye
first
kind
time
of,
I heard him.
yeah. So see that's what I'm getting back to, that when I say that undeniable shit. And that's how I feel the Lupe Fiasco, the Food and Liquor, the first joint, those beats, that was that undeniable shit. We had undeniable beats that most people are going to like and love, and it's filled with lyrical content, but they were just undeniable. Like, you're gonna fuck with these beats. Everything after that, he had a couple of those on the Cool album, and then everything after that was just kind of like, okay, now I'm kind of established. Y'all know the kind of shit I do. Y'all know I'm a great rapper. I'm a deep rapper in my own lane. Now I'm gonna do just kind of like whatever the fuck I want to do, whether you get it or you don't get it. Hopefully, if you my fan, you gonna ride with it and do whatever. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel the route he went.
Right, I got you.
Yeah.
I can definitely understand that. I can understand that. But just to give you one of my guys, I would say X DMX would be a good one. He's one of those dudes where, well, he was one of those dudes. Rest in peace to X. He is one of those guys. It's been a year already.
Damn.
I just looked at that the other day while I was looking at his list. It's already been. He died April last year. I'm like, damn, this has already been a year already.
The pandemic has
accelerated everything.
It's accelerated and slowed down a lot of things. It's just been a weird 2 years. Yeah, just weird.
But he was one of them guys to me where he had that sweet spot and he didn't even notice it. Me personally, I think X had an over reliance on Swiss beats. I will say that. I feel like he over relied on Swiss beats. And a lot of them beats was kind of unnecessary. Sometimes it was perfect. It was locked in. You get your the heat and you get blackout and you get some of that, but it's only so much Chinese ching chong gong shit I'm trying to listen to. And ain't no disrespect to the Asian community, but it's only so much of that shit I'm trying to listen to. And I'm like, nigga, I'm thinking this nigga was Chinese or something. I'm like, is this nigga Asian himself? Because that's all this nigga was coming with as far as Swiss is concerned. Me personally, I think X was at his best when he was on Dame Grease and PK beats. Dame Grease especially. I don't know what it was about Dame Grease that he brought out of DMX, but it's like this nigga understood DMX on a different level, than other niggas can, because I feel like them is some of the best songs that he's never did. The Dogs for Life and the Stop Being Greedy and the intro for it's dark and hell is hot and all kind of stuff like that. It's like that's the memorable DMX, the X that stick out in people's minds, and then as time went on, he kind of started gravitating away from them, and kind of, being with Swiss a little bit more and kind of being more industry, kind of what's the word? Situated, I guess you want to say. He's more situated in the industry. He was able to get kind of more high profile guys kind of, and then stand with Swiss and them. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's kind of like he kind of became a caricature of himself. He wasn't really the same guy. People started making jokes about it. It was funny, and it was like the magic, the menace that made X who he was. It turned into a punchline. And I feel like it had a lot to do with he didn't really stay with that dark, extra gritty sound that went with that dark, extra gritty voice that he had. And when you trying to put a bunch of shiny ass processed beats and shit like that just on something like that, it's not gonna work. It's like putting oil in water. It's just gonna, the oil's just gonna take over the water and ain't gonna be nothing left but just the damn oil. So I think DMX is definitely one of them guys who was in that lane.
Yeah,
another guy. Go ahead.
His first, to me, with DMX, so his first 2 albums was great. Like you said, the beats fit his flow, his personality, because he was such, to me, DMX have always been a character. He's always been a huge personality, a very unique person, a very unique artist. Like the time I told you I met him, that nigga was like the same. The way he talk on his albums, the way he is with the personality, and
just like
he was the
Williams
exact same. I was like, this nigga is really who the fuck he is.
Cat Williams wasn't lying.
He wasn't.
He said he really talked like that too.
He do, bro. I promise. So he was such a huge personality. Like I say, first 2 albums was great. Everything after that, yes, the beat selection was just so mediocre. It was just like the thing that kept him on, where even though the beats was kind of very mediocre, he always had at least one song on each album that was kind of either radio or just was really the epitome of X, that carried him enough to keep going. He always had at least one song on each album after that. So between that, between the movies, between this nigga just nonstop in the news and in the press with all the crazy shit he used to do, it was enough to carry him on. So he's, to a certain extent, he's kind of an exception to the rule, where I wouldn't say that the lack of the bad beat selection, I can't necessarily say it really held him back from being all he could be, because he was such, like I said, he had
transcended
so much.
it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He had so much other shit going on with the movies and just being the personality that he is and staying in the press. And then plus, like I said, he had at least a song off of every album that was enough to, like, the What They Really Want From a Nigga, different songs like that. He always had at least one of those in the cut was enough to carry him on. So yeah.
Now shit, all his albums went platinum, and they all debuted at #1 for the most part until like 2007. So like you say, he was doing something right.
Yeah,
he did something right. Another guy I would bring up, for me, and it's real frustrating for me because he's one of my favorite guys, and that would be Dom Kennedy. He's another nigga where I'm just like, boy, if you don't get your cool ass on somewhere and get on some fire, because I'm like, this nigga just be more concerned with just being cool as hell than just putting a good song together. And I'm just like, bro, I'm like, nigga, we get it, you cool as hell, cool kid. Now put man, come on.
Oh my god.
Because it just, it's been like that for a little while now. I think he didn't the last one he did, what was it? I forget the last one. I think it was from the West Side with Love 3. I think that was, and then he picked it up a little bit on that. But the last 2 or 3 projects before that, I'm just like, what is this? What am I doing? He was the same guy, same cool factor and all that other shit. Them beats just suck. And I'm just like, I know you can pick better beats than this. I've heard you on better beats than this. I've heard projects full of better beats than this. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Like, just what are you doing? I don't even care what your cool ass got to say, because the beat's not there. So you can't even be the cool guy that you think that you are, because I can't even get through the beats to see how cool you is.
Right.
And he's just, he one of them guys where it's like, I feel like I don't know if it's like, some guys, and Diz is another one who I would fit in this category, at least in recent years, where it's just like, nigga, I don't know if it's like guys like that, they, and you can't say about Currency, because Currency, I will put him in that same category, but not the same as far as that type of rapper or that type of position in the industry. But he don't get complacent. He
Yeah.
don't just rest on his laurels. It seemed like niggas like Dom Kennedy and Dizza and something like that. Like, it seemed like niggas didn't think that they can get to the level that they at now, and then they get to that level, and now they're like, well, shit, nigga, whatever, fuck it, I'm just gonna smoke.
Right. Like, nah, bro.
And then in between the smoking and the eating good and the women, I'm gonna throw him a mixtape. Like, no, nigga. no, nigga. You don't forget the mixtape and the music is what got you the women and the smoking and the good eating and all this other. Don't forget that part. Please don't. Cause that's why I like you. That's why I'm here. Checking out these weak ass beats. Because you used to not be on weak ass beats, and I don't, and I can't speak for them, I don't know what they done been through, and but it's just hard for me as a fan because I'm just like, nigga, this ain't what I'm here for. This ain't how you get, how I'm supposed to, how people supposed to take me seriously when I tell people how great you are and shit, and then they turn it on and it's this shit.
Exactly.
Now I look stupid. Now I'm just like, this nigga ain't even all that. Well, check out his old shit. Nah, nigga, you done fucked it up. You didn't. Exactly. Hey, you had your one chance, and you done put on this weak shit. I don't want to hear it. What reason do I got to believe the other shit gonna be any better than this? You told me this shit was supposed to be great. So, I think rappers need to be cognizant of that.
Yeah. Yeah, Dom, that's a good example. Like I said, super cool ass nigga. And he's another one. What keeps him going is more so his persona, and he, like I said, he never makes just a whole album that's not good. He always got a song or two on each project where you like, okay. You know what I mean? So that's what keep him going for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But just that complacency, I just need y'all to, I don't know what it is, but niggas get complacent and they've been doing it for so long. And I'm just like, if you feel like that, then just, transition. Don't just keep putting out music, because you need to get a couple more stacks put in your bank account or some shit. Like, actually take the time, sit down. And I'm like, did these niggas do marketing or any type of research at all? Like, did they go back and say, okay, what did niggas like about the shit? What did they not like about the shit? What did they suggest? Do they even care about shit like that? Do they just think they just got the answers? And then, if and they just discount is everything just hating now?
Yeah, I don't know what it'd be, man. I think it'd be, like you said, speaking on the complacent part, I just think, like you said, a lot of these rappers, they get to a certain point and they fan base is built up and everything, and they just feel like the fan base is gonna ride with them no matter what. And that's a bad mentality to have, because yes, you got a fan base and they're fucking with you, but in order to keep them, in order to keep them interested, and in order to even grow it even more, you got to keep coming with that fire.
Yeah,
because especially now, with the way music and stuff is, people's attention span ain't shit no more. Motherfucker, you hot this week. Okay, yeah, you dropped a dope album and it's dope. And then a month later, they like, okay, now what? So when you got that kind of fan now and the attention span, nigga, you really need to be coming with it, because motherfuckers is, yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. That'll be another episode we got to do. But
oh yeah,
but just if something's good, it ain't it ain't just over with, and you can't that's what they do. But I just don't believe you just in a month or two you can just forget. I can't just get over them in 2 months.
Right.
Like
No.
when Damn came out in 2017, I'm June of that year. I'm not all right. What else is new, nigga? I was
Mhm.
man. I didn't get tired of Damn until like tired of it until like damn near like almost 2020. So most of 2019.
Yeah.
I was like, so what you mean? 2, 3, not even you, but just 2, 3 months later. Oh, what else? What's next? No, if it's great, solid shit, that shit gonna last.
Yeah. That's why I don't like the um how the industry is so single driven now versus the project. That has a lot to do with the way people consume music. Everything is so single driven. Like I don't it used to be artists come out with a single and that's letting you know, okay, they got a project on the way, and it just give you a little vibe of, to get you back familiar, what to kind of expect. And then they drop the one single, then they drop the album. Because now I find myself where I don't even enjoy the project as much because okay, y'all niggas ain't dropping no more 22 song Master P albums no more. Y'all niggas doing 10 songs, 12 songs. So you dropping the album with 10 to 12 songs and you've released 5 singles. It's like, nigga, when I hear the albums, like, okay, I done heard all this shit. Like, what the fuck? I'm not even really that
I was
excited
just
about
gonna
it
say.
now. You know what I
I was
mean?
just
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, you release an album, but then you done already put out the whole album on Billboard charting and shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah,
I don't know,
so
man. It's just it's a lot of things going on, but I think I just think people. I think it has to be a lot more imagination, but I think it just has to be a switch up too. You got a lot of these. The same thing with rapping. It's then got into production, so you done let every damn body be able to get a hold of a damn keyboard and a laptop, and then bought some damn Fruity Loops or whatever little introduction to making beat shit, and now anybody can just make a damn beat, and you'll have some good ones that'll come out of that. Metro, shout out to him. Uh, shout out to Tay Keith and some other young guys who are you know
mhm.
doing the beats that'll come out with some fire. Um, but yeah, for every one of them, you got all the niggas who make NBA Young Boys beats and Dirk's beats and whoever's beats, and they just somebody with a damn keyboard, and it's just a bunch of niggas throwing shit at the wall to see what stick. And
Mhm.
when I think you got a whole bunch of stuff like that going on, you just got a bunch of niggas just trying to they just trying to make some money off of. Well, anytime it turned into I'm doing this to get some cash, I'm doing this for some clout, I'm doing this for some everything other than I'm trying to make some genuinely good, timeless, decent music, is when you get shit like this, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's easy to see when what somebody's motivations are by what you get from them. I truly believe that, and I believe that that'll never change.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh I'll jump back over to some of the other ones I got or whatever, and then we'll finish off with the rest of yours. Uh yeah, Pharaoh Monk, he's another one. He's definitely on the list. He's the epitome of this. This nigga has had one like mainstream, one main hit, that Simon Says, and everything in between there has just been very mediocre. Still a great MC. He's right there with Razcast. I feel he definitely his career definitely could have went further with better beat selection. He's definitely right there with Razcast because he had lyrical skill, personality, had a look, had a vibe. He's a true representative of that. Uh Most Def, I'ma kind of put him there. Most has done some great things, had great projects, but through the years, he's definitely a lot of them projects just really have been, maybe you want to call it too abstract, or he doing too much where
Yep.
it's not really translating like that, or it's only going to reach a certain group of his fan base. Um and he's done a lot too. He's done the movies, he's done the name change, the Yasin Bey, and I just think through all of that, between his movies and just I think he made such an impact when he was really active. That's what keeps him going. He made a true impact between his regular solo stuff, between the Black Star stuff with Talib. He's made such an impact. That's what keeps him going. But it's hard to say if the beat selection with him would have pushed him further or not, because he's not even, he looks at music and the music industry as in a certain way now.
Yep.
So I don't even think that would have really made a difference with him. He's just not even into the music like that. Um, Immortal Technique is another one. So Immortal Technique, very skilled rapper, subject matter, very militant, very fuck the system, very complex. But he's another one. Because I have this kind of message, I can't make a slap to go along with my message. And I just that is such a fucking mentality. It's such a thing in hip hop I wish could break. I can't make a slap because I'm talking about fuck the government, and I'm
Seriousness.
talking about black empowerment, and I'm talking. You can still make I'll say this. A great example of that is Dead Prez. Dead Prez, super militant, super black power, super fuck the systems and all that stuff. But they shit used to slap.
Yep.
Like I think that was a huge part of their appeal. Honestly, I'm gonna say Dead Prayers is the blueprint for all this shit. All this shit I'm talking about, Dead Prayers is the blueprint. Like they not really active like that now. They've had a lot of ups and downs, and I kind of get it because their subject matter really does not translate with the new rap fan. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to hear none of that shit. They ain't trying to hear
No.
nothing really positive, nothing really uplifting or whatever. There's a very, very small niche that still even fuck with that. But to me, as far as they did get, where they were able to get on Jay-Z's radar and get remixes with Jay-Z and get radio play and get all the accolades and shit that they got. To me, that's the true epitome of what I'm talking about. Y'all was strictly in your own lane against the grain, but you made good music to support your message, and it took you further than you would have got if you just would have stuck with some fucked up ass beats with this deep ass message. You know what I mean? They the
Yeah.
perfect example of that shit. Uh so that I'm gonna finish mine out. Just gonna throw both of these in there. I'm gonna say Eminem. I'm also gonna throw Joe Budden in there. Now, both of them great lyricists, very skilled, very talented. Uh Budden, I feel like at first, and with his, he done surpassed everything he do with the podcast, the reality shows. You forget how good of a rapper he really used to be. He was
And
really good. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, and shit, if you even get a chance to even remember how good of a rapper he was, because you so damn you know, a lot of people like to, just bring up the pump me up and pretty much try to just attribute that to him and just basically
Yeah,
just that's all he is. It just was just to, to pump me up. And I'm just like, well, I mean, shit, nigga, you gotta do something in the industry to do something. I'm like, I
right.
just look at some niggas. I'm like, damn, you can't do nothing, huh? I'm like, nigga, it was 2003. You idiot. It was 2003, and he was trying to come up with a single to get radio play. I'm like,
Yeah,
niggas can't. I'm like, niggas can't do nothing
right.
without you niggas saying something and holding it against them You
Yeah.
just cut out a whole 10+ year rap career just out and then just try to, oh, he ain't nothing but pump me up guy. I
Like,
said,
no.
y'all ain't worth a damn.
Pump Me Up, Pump It Up was just, like you said, to get him in the door. That's the song, Pump It Up. I don't know if he owned the royalties on that shit or not, but if he do, he
He
definitely
eating
still
off of
eating
that.
off that shit because the commercials, the video games, all of that shit.
I'm just like,
But them,
I'm just, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, but them the niggas that say just he just ain't nothing but pump it up. Them the niggas, they have no idea about all the mood musics and
No,
all that shit. How deep
no,
that shit was. Yeah.
no. And I'm just saying, like, I'm like, nigga, the label do want something. I gotta give them something. I was I was on a label, and here you go. This was something I gave the label to try and push this album.
Yeah.
I just don't like the lack of, and it's more than just hip hop. I could go on for days and days about that, but it's just the lack of context in everything. Don't nobody want to
Yeah.
contextualize shit. It's
No.
just oh, that's what that happened. All right, bet. Like, no, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, XYZ. They don't. I don't know. They just look at the equal sign and the result of the equal sign. They don't care about how you got there or what happened in the course of getting there or nothing like that. It's just, oh, he wasn't that good of a rapper. He flopped or whatever. I'm like, come on, bro. It's more to it than just whatever you trying to say. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. That just goes into the mentality today where you have conversations where people don't respect the pioneers of music, the pioneers of hip hop and all that stuff. It's all about right now. If it didn't happen right now, then it either never happened or it either don't fucking matter. That's just
and that's another thing. That's once again another future episode where we should probably get on that. But that has
Yep.
it always been like that, where it's just like, because I only see that with us, with black folks, especially when it comes to music and when it comes to sports. Like, they don't. I'm talking about, like, no respect for the beginning origins of the shit. Don't care about the niggas who paved the way to get to where we is now or anything like that. I don't see white folks doing shit like that. I don't see too many white folks trying to come out and say, "Oh, Godfather is trash."
Yeah.
But I have heard niggas younger than me talking about, oh, if the shit came out in before 2000, I can't listen to it.
Yeah.
What do you?
I
What?
think so personally, I never seen it until like your generation and then the generation under yours. That's when I start seeing it because personally, like with me, so and I know it's so I'll say this. I know it's different depending on what kind of person you are and what kind of music fan you are. So with me, my experience may not be the same as somebody else's. But still, I'ma still say I didn't really see that until your generation and the generation under yours. Because with my generation, so we was all about giving props to the people of ahead of ours. I'm coming in, okay, it's the Nas, the Jay-Z's, and the Biggies, but we was all about like, oh, motherfucking Run DMC, oh my God, and they are rap guys and what they've done, and we was all about Big Daddy Kane and Jay-Z is talking about how influential Big Daddy Kane was to his style, and it wouldn't be no me without Big Daddy Kane. And we talking about the KRS ones and experiencing that. And even I'll even go back further there, like my mama and them introducing me to like Roger Troutman and Zapp and George
Right.
Clinton and Parliament and all these different people, Rick James, and my mind is blown and I want to know more. And I'm like, oh my God, all these rap songs that I never knew was even samples that I thought that the niggas just
Right.
came
It
up with.
just
It comes from this. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
that was,
was
yeah.
yeah, I was so excited. I wanted to know more. I was like super respectful of them. Like, damn, they the pioneers. Um, like even like Isaac Hayes, James Brown. Like for example, with them two, those are the two. I think they're like the two most sampled artists ever. A lot of people call them architects of hip hop because they shit has been sampled so
So
much in
many
rap
times.
music, bro. Like even to this day, like it's a uh I think even like Kodak Black recently has sampled some Isaac Hayes shit. I think it was like the same beat of that the Ghetto Boys of Mind Playing Tricks on You.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've always had that, my friends, my peer group and all that shit. We've always had huge respect for the motherfuckers before us and just in everything because we just
I
like
know.
it was a thing where we can still exist in our youngness and like what we like, but we know it wouldn't be the same or it wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the shit that y'all did. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you look at niggas now is on a computer pushing buttons, making all these sounds. These niggas before us was playing the guitar and the drums and the keyboard and the horns. You know how much
And
skill
interesting.
takes
Yeah.
to fucking play the instruments and make the kind of music that they made. That's true
Yep.
skill. These niggas are hitting buttons, talking about it's all about me. It's all about nigga. You hitting motherfucking buttons, playing some computerized generated ass sound, nigga. That's
Right.
not not to shit on it because you still can make hits and make money and do all that stuff. But
Make
I'm just
great
saying
things with it, right?
the skill level compared to niggas that had to learn how to play a key or a chord. Come on, bro. You can't compare it to motherfuckers hitting a button, bro.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I hear you on that.
Yeah. We can get way far off. So well we finished with Button now. Eminem. So pretty much the only M album that I can play top to bottom and fuck with is Marshall Mathers LP.
Boo.
Oh,
You can't say you can't say nothing bad about Eminem. You gotta remember that.
oh, I know exactly. They be
Boo.
he's the oh my god, and
Eminem can do no wrong. That's such a slave master shit. Of course, a white man coming in shit, and then he started doing some shit, and of course, you can't say shit about him. No, don't you say nothing about Eminem.
right,
He
yeah,
coming here
man.
rapping goods for us. He do it better than your black ass.
It is, man.
That's such some slave. That's some old slave master shit. If I and nothing, no, and please, Eminem, if you ever hear this, please don't blackball us for this. I love you. I love. We both love you.
Yeah, he
But this is how nigga. If you listen to Eminem, this is how motherfuckers treat your music and
yes,
everything you done did. They hold it on this high ass pedestal that can't be
yes,
seen by no other nigga in history ever.
yeah, and it's just like it goes back to the like when we was talking about in the other episode. Like I said, for me, it's the Marshall Mathers LP.
And Slim
The
Shady.
yeah, the dude can rap. He definitely can rap. His freestyle is absolutely remarkable. The way he can put words together. But once again, his beats, if you think about it, they were very rocked out. A lot of them were very rocked out. A lot of them were very white boyish, white peopleish. It
Yep.
really was, you know what I mean? That kind of
Yeah.
sound. It was very alternative sounding, all
Mm-hmm.
that. So don't act like he was coming in with some DJ Premier ass beats and he was not.
Right.
So a
Yeah.
lot of them,
Exactly.
yeah. And then at his height, where he's like I said, talking about Elvis and dressing up in the Elvis suits and doing all that extra silly shit he used to do. Some of
Yeah.
those beats combined with his voice when he was really on his Slim Shady shit, it was unbearable. It was like, okay, I cannot fucking listen to this. It's too much right now. This nigga screaming and whining and animated than the fuck over this cartoon ass beat. Like it was, yeah. it was too much. Like, nigga.
Yeah. But you're not lying though.
Yeah.
You're really not lying. That's funny. I'll give you a controversial one. But I'm coming from a different angle. You just gotta hear me out.
Okay.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But it ain't
This
but
nigga is
it's
crazy talking about
but it's
Jay-Z.
well, that's the thing though. That goes into my whole premise. I could write a paper on this shit. I about Jay-Z, but he doesn't have bad beats per se, but I just think that to a point he it's overstated. Like he's always had great beat selection when it comes to his singles. When it comes time to sell that album, he know what the fuck to put out to make sure this album gets sold. And for you to want to get the album and listen to the albums and listen to what he got to say. He gonna always do that. He didn't always do it. But it's just when you get to the actual album, it's a lot of times outside of Reasonable Doubt, outside of Blueprint, outside of the Black Album, it just leaves a lot to be desired. It really does.
I don't know. I 1000% disagree. Jay to me is almost just like, yeah, he definitely know how to make them radio hits. Then he does it in a way where it's undeniable, but he make the radio hits where, yeah, across the board, all the yo full Jay-Z fan gonna fuck with it. The niggas that like the harder shit, the women, everybody gonna like mess with it. But to me, I feel it's like just the opposite though. I feel his in between just record cuts that never made the album. I mean, that never made the radio. Them motherfuckers was dope as hell too. Some of them would be doper than the radio singles.
I give you prime example. Like for instance, Volume 1 and Volume 3. So In My Lifetime and Life and Times of Sean or S. Carter. Both of them shits was mid. Like it had the cuts, like Who You With To and Where I'm From and shit like that. Classic, legendary.
Wait.
Volume 3.
Did you Volume 3? Okay, I gotta look at this.
Volume 1. Volume 1 had the Who You With Part 2 and the Where I'm From, and it had a couple more tracks on there. And then the Volume 3. The Volume 3 is another. The Volume 3 is another one where I'm just like, it had a couple good songs on it. I know Dope Man was fire. What else on there was fire? I know The Things That You Do was fire. Obviously Big Pimpin', we ain't got to talk about that. And it's like a couple other ones, but then it's like, some of them songs I'm just like, Throw Your Hands Up with Beans. I was like, it's okay. It's cool. But it's just like, certain songs, I'm just like, he not, it just didn't seem like he gave the same energy to the rest of the album like he did with the singles or the more, standout tracks that we know him for. His like he went hard for a certain part of the, or the first part of the album or whatever creative process. And then, the second half, he kind of just phoned that shit in. Like, all right, well, we just gonna do, what we need to do to make sure the shit is, is put in the way it need. I just feel like he got into certain spots where, like I said, Reasonable Doubt, you can't really see that nigga on that. That nigga was in rare air. When he came out with the Blueprint, that nigga was in some rare air. You couldn't really, see him like that. Same thing with Black Album. You couldn't really see him. He was just on something different. It wasn't like it was just that far in between. But see, I'll put it to you like this. I think Jay-Z would have benefited greatly not coming out every year.
Really?
Yes. Hell yeah. Yes. Think about it. Think about it like this. If Reasonable Doubt, then Volume 2, then from Volume 2, you don't even put out Volume 3. But then but Big Pimpin' is just something, it's like the promotional single or some shit like that for Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Then you take out Blueprint 2, You probably could leave Rock La Familia. You probably can leave that in there. Maybe leave that in there. Take out Blueprint 2 and Black Album. So basically, just take out Volume 1, Volume 3. Yeah, and just go from there and just let them drop every other year. That's a perfect rap career.
See,
that's a perfect career.
You and so you say Volume 3, and I pulled up that track list. I was fucking with every song on that bitch.
See,
But
that's
I was
the thing.
yeah, I was
No,
fucking with every
ahead, go
song.
ahead. No, go ahead. What was you
So and I'm a true J fan. Like the only when it started to get questionable as far as any beat selection, to me, it don't come until your Kingdom Come, your American Gangster, Blueprint 3, up in there. Some of the beat selection is a little questionable, not as hard. That was kind of, those
Well, that's
albums was kind of like when he was on his way out. He's not
yeah,
the height of his career type shit, but everything
yeah.
before that, shit,
I
yeah.
was gonna say, of course, Drew, that shit shouldn't have been there. Of course you saying, all that shit. That shit shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
The nigga said I was done after Black Album, so
Yeah.
all that shit you just named shouldn't even have been put on the on wax at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
According to his ass. So but that's just I don't know. That's just how I see things, man. And I'm just a little bit different with it. Like I it's the same thing. I have immense respect for Jay-Z and everything, and I don't take nothing away from him. It's just, certain things I'm just like, I don't see it quite, certain shit, that people is in agreement on. I was like, I don't quite see it. Like how you say you think Volume 3 is a shit. I'm like, I don't really see it like that. But I don't take that away from you to,
Right.
To see that. I'm just like, I don't feel the same way. It just don't certain shit from him and from other niggas in general, it just don't do it for me,
Okay.
And that's just me as an individual, But I definitely, you take out Volume 1 and Volume 3 and probably sprinkle the standout tracks of You Can't Tell Me Where I'm From wouldn't have fit perfectly on Reasonable Doubt. Something like that. If you just take some of them songs and sprinkle them onto other projects, to the left or the right of them, and then throw right all the other kind of filler tracks from them albums. Like I said, you kind of got a guy where I'm like, okay, yeah, this nigga really is the greatest ever, or this and that and other. But I feel like it's a lot of kind of extracurricular shit that kind of take away from that in my eyes.
Okay.
He got a lot of Michael Jordan wizard shit going on. Niggas don't want to talk about Michael Jordan wizard shit going on, but that shit is there, and you gotta acknowledge the shit.
Oh shit. Who else did I know we had a lot of the same. Did you have who else did you have? Anybody else?
I had Snoop on there, and the only reason I had and another reason I had Snoop on there is because bullshit. I don't want to hear that. I call bullshit because you had the Doggy Style, which was fucking great, but that was mostly Dre. As far as the production goes, Dog Pound and Dre, I'll put Dog Pound in there too, Daz and niggas like that. But then the Dogfather had some stuff on there. Who the fuck talks about Snoop's No Limit Run? Nobody talks about that shit. Nobody talks about that shit. And this nigga had 3 whole albums on No Limit.
Oh my god, let me look this shit.
This nigga had 3 albums on No Limit, and nobody talks about them.
So let me
at
see.
all.
Right, that was the 98 when the game is to be sold, not told. Then No Limit, Top Dog, and The Last Meal. Okay, I will give you that. Because I feel about
that shit.
Because I feel about how the Jay-Z beats is all of them was fucking excellent. That's how I feel about Snoop. But I will give you that. Them 3 No Limit ones, it was kind of like
it was some shit on there.
Yeah,
but
as a whole, shit on there. Yeah.
But as a whole, that was just a forgettable part of his career.
Yeah.
You would just be like, this nigga, you know, if you ain't really into Snoop or you don't really do this hip hop shit, you'll be like, if I told you that this nigga was at one point signed to Master P and had all these this and that, you'd be like, this nigga was on No Limit, 3 albums. What?
So was 3 albums. Shit.
He would do this, and don't nobody mention none of this shit.
No.
Don't nobody talk about that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying when I say little things like that. You know, and then the first one after that, the you got paid the cost to be the boss, the shit that had Beautiful on it with Pharrell. That album wasn't all that. It was okay.
Okay,
you know,
I'll give you that too.
He got back in the form with the RNG, the shit that had the, you know, he got back in the form with that. And then the blue carpet treatment was my shit. Yeah, that was my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then right back after that, you go right back into the shit. Because at that point now he's Snoop. He corporate Snoop.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't forget corporate Snoop. He's still Snoop.
Right.
But the white people ain't scared of Snoop no more. No. So they just said, oh, come on, Snoop. He high anyway. He ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
You know.
Say Snoop could walk in smoking a blunt, crip walking with a gun
and white grandma still still. Oh, he's so handsome.
Right.
White grandma, he's so handsome and funny.
Right. Yes.
Fuck out of here. So it's like at that point, after blue carpet treatment in 2008 and shit, the music shit became extracurricular at that point.
Yeah.
Because he didn't transcended pop culture. So when you transcend pop culture, that music shit don't mean nothing. That's just us. The music literally became a source of income. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so that's why I say that about Snoop, because he had parts where you see where the rap legend / iconic status in the rap game come from.
Right.
But then the other shit is like, you just Snoop, so it don't even matter. It was like, okay, yeah, we don't talk about your No Limit run, and you had 3 albums, and they was kind of cool or okay or whatever people want. But it's like you was Snoop. You was doing movies and shit. You was cool as hell. You know, niggas wanted to be you, bitches wanted to be with you. Yeah. It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it still matters because the shit still happened and shit's still there.
Right.
So, you know, that's why I say that about Snoop. It's like, in one way, yeah, I don't think, you know, you can't tell me that them is some good beats if niggas don't even remember what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
And your biggest song from that time period, they think is a whole nother nigga song. They think Down With My Niggas is C Murder song. Right. That's Snoop song.
Yeah, exactly. They really do. When your average nigga talk about that song, they do think it's C Murder song. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, that's Snoop's song with this nigga C Murder featured on it, because it was on Snoop's album.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I give you that. He definitely the 3 No Limit albums, and then the couple ones after that. Yeah, it was kind of lukewarm or whatever. Because like you said, it got to a point where, yeah, Snoop at this point is the most famous rapper on the fucking planet.
Yeah,
and
he might be the most famous rapper ever outside of Pac.
Yeah, for real though. Yeah, see, he really is.
He might be the most famous rapper ever.
Yeah, he really is. Cause now it got to a point where a couple of them albums, like you said, he's so out there. It don't matter what the fuck he put out. Just on his name alone, it's gonna sell this much and that much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. It's gonna do something. So
yeah,
it's gonna still do something. Niggas gonna talk about it a little bit, whatever. Yeah. So but my next one, I would say would be Casey Veggies. He's another one. I think that he's one of those guys. He had the blueprint to pretty much kind of do anything he wanted to do. He could have been like that. What's a good comparison? I don't know. I just know he had the image. He had everything that you need. He was marketable. I felt like he was marketable. He had he was with our Future in them. He was with Tyler in them. You know, everything like that. He was in position and everything like that. And it might just be a thing of, you know, maybe he was cool where he was at. You know, maybe he didn't want to get too far involved into it where people can control his shit and do all this other stuff. But I feel like he could have linked up with a whole bunch of different producers and a whole bunch of different, you know, guys in the game that could have gave him a completely unique sound. Because that's one thing I kind of noticed about Casey. He really hasn't. He's evolved, but he hasn't evolved that much to where he sound like a completely different artist. He just sound like he basically is the same nigga. He just grew up.
Yeah.
You know, he basically sound like the same kind of guy.
That's a actually really good one. Casey Veggies. I ain't even heard that name in a while, and I definitely used to fuck with him.
Mm-hmm.
The last project I heard from him was 2019. The one
Oh,
he
that
did with
organic.
Rocky Fresh. No, the one he did with
Oh,
Rocky Fresh. The Fresh Veggies.
the fresh veggies too.
Yeah.
So did you
Like,
even hear organic? Because organic came out in 2019.
It did. It came out after that. Like I know I did, but see, that's what I'm saying. Nothing really stands out. Nothing
And he
really
done did 2
stands out.
mixtapes since then.
I'm looking at it now. 2020 last year. I had no idea that he came out with some shit last year.
Yeah, is it the customized Greatly 5 or something else?
No, that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he been doing his thing. I heard that. It's listen to that if you get a chance. There's actually some stuff on there on the customized 5.
He should have, like you said. I think if he would have, and you know, business is business, and people collide. I don't know what happened with him and the whole Tyler thing, but he
Yeah.
definitely fit into that vein. The kind of shit that they do, all of them, Tyler, Domo, all, you know what I mean? That
He could have been their way into the dough. They could have hit all they weird asses behind him because him and Damo was the only normal acting niggas.
Yeah.
And you could have just used him. He could have been like a Chance without all the extra cheese and corn.
Yes.
There you go.
That's
so he could have been Chance without all the corniness and all the cheesiness.
Hey, that is actually a perfect breakdown. Exactly. He had that appeal. He could have been that mainstream nigga that's still doing some quality music. It ain't too far left, ain't too far right. Like you said, without all the fucking that's a perfect breakdown. Yes.
So, you know, but I think just no matter where you go, no matter where you look, how little or how much you look, you gonna always find these type of guys because it's only so many spots to go around.
Right.
And especially on prominent, it's room for everybody to eat. Everybody can eat. It's just at different levels. But you know that prominent level, I feel like you can always find somebody. Another guy I would say, and this is again is from an angle perspective, is Gucci. And this is more so after he kind of transitioned from the mixtapes exclusively type to kind of just basically being in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
When this nigga got to the industry, whoever he signed to or whatever, them niggas completely just stopped doing what got him to that point. I mean, just stopped it. You know, it was, you could see little hints of it and traces of it there, and then you start seeing this niggas kind of spread itself thin. Because I mean, he kind of did the smart thing. He started branching out and signing niggas and you know, kind of being on that business AR CEO kind of side of shit. It didn't help because he was signing knucklehead ass niggas. Shout out to Pooh Shiesty, 5 years in jail. You know, knocked him 5 years out and stopped doing knucklehead shit. But yeah, just the sound wise, everything that got him noticed, everything that got him on, they just stopped doing it. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you do what clearly got you noticed, clearly what got people listening to you, clearly got people wanting to come back for more, and then you just go, well, let's switch and go this way. Never understood it.
Yeah. He I don't know if they was trying to like broaden his fan base or broaden his reach. That's the only thing that really makes sense. But before that, I feel shit just the opposite. He's an example of how I feel about like French Montana. Like, it's no secret that French Montana and Gucci are not the best rappers. To me, the beats is what really made them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? French Montana is not the best rapper, but French Montana got slaps. That nigga got official slaps that bump the radio, the club, the all that shit.
But I'm saying in terms of like, I put it to you like this: mixtape Gucci, the shit, when I was growing up, when I was in, end of 8th grade, going into high school, all the way through, my first year of college.
Mm-hmm.
That that Gucci's beats and bang, compared to just all industry Gucci,
Mm-hmm.
especially since he got out of jail too.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, that's two different. That's two different beats, two different types of slap. I feel like you can ask, even if you ain't even asking ignorant niggas in the street, just niggas who have listened to Gucci and they got some halfway kind of sense. They'll tell you like Will Chamberlain Gucci and East Atlanta Santa Gucci and all that other shit like that. Them beats and that knock was not the same as what came later on when he started getting more, into the industry and things like that. And that's another thing that I wanted to say. Going back to what you said earlier, it actually just slipped my mind. If I can call it before we go off today, I'll bring it back up.
Mm-hmm.
But another guy that I would say was Method Man, and I think that's just more because of um it's more of as he kind of departed from the Wu-Tang Clan / RZA driven production. He's kind of one of them guys where he found out, or to me it seemed like he found out, that was a strong suit. He really fit that mold that Wu-Tang was pushing and what they was trying to do and everything like that. And it just seemed like everything outside of that, it just didn't work. And I don't know if that's because I was kind of spoiled by what him and RZA and those guys were able to put together and do, or maybe or should he have not moved out of his sweet spot, what worked for him as far as being on Wu-Tang / RZA music? Because I always respected his skills, but it was that Wu-Tang sound is what took him to that next level. I think that's responsible for why we know him as who he is today, and everything like that.
That's actually, I'm surprised I didn't have that one on my list. That's a great example because first album to Cal, to this day,
Great.
man, I mean, just classic hip hop album. I loved it then, I love it now. Um, and really, I kind of hate to say, like, it kind of started and ended there because looking over his shit, yeah, you had to Cal, classic, every beat crazy, every flow crazy. Now Method never lost his. So with Meth, it's so many elements involved. So I feel like it's hard to say if because the artists we talking about, some of them are just great artists that are still relevant, that just didn't have the best beat selection here and there, and some of the artists we're mentioning are, if they would have had better beat selection, they could have went further. With
Right.
Meth, I can't. I'm kind of torn. Like, maybe he could have went further as a MC if he would have had better beat selection with his projects. I think it would have. And the only reason I say that, because with him, he's another one. It's so many elements. First of all, you acting. You got that going on. Second of all, you done great shit with Redman. Y'all was a
Yeah.
team. Y'all
Yeah.
was done sold out tours. You done great albums. And then you part of Wu-Tang, where just the Wu-Tang name alone is going to keep you going and never really let you die. You know what I
Right.
mean? So he has so many other elements. I can't really say. I think it would have helped moved him up the ladder as far as the rank goes with a lot of the Wu-Tang artists, because to this day I still think Wu is I still think Meth is one of the illest Wu-Tang members, but the masses that know Wu-Tang and when you talk about it, they tend to go with Raekwon. They tend to go with Ghost. You know, they tend to go with Jizza because first of all, they had more music out than Meth. They had better beats, they had more music, they had a little bit more reach, you know, when it comes to putting
I
out.
wouldn't agree with Raekwon. I
Yeah,
would
a
agree with
lot of
Jizza.
people do.
I wouldn't agree. Just off Cuban links.
I
Because I
mean,
mean,
of
if
all
you
this
think about
shit.
like if you think of, well, I mean, if you think about it though, what you know, what more does Raekwon have after Cuban links? Them, you know what, bulletproof wallets, nigga? Who was playing bulletproof wallets? Well, nobody playing that shit. Well, nobody playing no damn bulletproof wallets. Get out of here.
Let me see,
If you trying to
Ray.
if you try to tell me, oh, bulletproof wallets is some of the most fire Wu-Tang related shit I've ever heard, bro, get out of my face. Get out of my house. You lying son of a bitch.
So
You gonna listen to no damn bulletproof. Ghostface, without a doubt. I
okay.
believe that wholeheartedly. And Jizza, another one, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
You know, no doubt. But I'm the you know, as far as rank goes, for me, and this is just tangent. The lowest I'm willing to put Method Man in that whole shit, maybe counting Old Dirty. If you feeling funky, because I mean, I guess the Old Dirty was like an OG slash kind of heart and soul kind of deal. I don't even
Yeah.
know if you want to call it that, but maybe third, fourth, but definitely no lower than fourth if you want to put Old Dirty over Meth. But you know, I'm putting them third if you gonna do all that behind Jizza and Ghostface.
And see, that's how I feel. So I put Jizza number 1, and then I put Meth, and then to me, so it kind of is a cross between Ray and Ghost. And the only reason I say that, so like I feel with Ghost, how can I say it? He's definitely skilled, definitely talented, has made classic shit. But sometimes Ghost, his shit be so like abstract the way he presented. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes that nigga will say some few lines that ain't even rhyming and shit. He just that nigga just, and you know the shorty, and I did he just
No,
he's
he
saying some
do.
lines. You know what
He
I'm
just
talking about.
he just started rapping like he just started looking around the table and shit. And like
Exactly.
I got the bottle of shampoo next to the turkey drumstick. I'm like, I mean, all right, Ghost.
Oh
I'm gonna let that
shit.
slide. Okay, you got the hair shampoo next to the turkey leg. All right, now what?
Yes. And see, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes he would lose. Sometimes he would lose me with that shit. And that's why I think a matter of fact, I'm sticking to that. I'm going Jizza, Method, then
Hell
I'm gonna go
no.
Raekwon, then I'm gonna go Ghost. Cause Raekwon, he
Damn,
still
Ghost.
is a rapping ass nigga and got that structure. You know what I mean? He a rapping ass nigga, got
Oh
that
my
structure. He's
god.
staying the cut, but Ghost, yeah, boy, he get super abstract on your ass. Yeah. Seen the bitch had a big booty, then I wanted some ice cream, and then yeah.
I'm like, bro, wait, what?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you funny, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you funny, man. That's good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. You
For real.
for real,
Yeah, man.
but yeah, um, but definitely, definitely that's why I say I'll put Meth in there, but just with that caveat behind it. Um, and then on the other spectrum, you kind of I put Red on there too, but just from the other angle of kind of what I say against Meth, it was like, Red did way more than Method Man musically. I think you would agree with that.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
yeah,
100%.
so he's done way more musically than Meth has, but I think that a lot of time, for me personally, and from what I've seen, and from tremendous respect for Redman, one of the greatest spitters ever, everything like that. I I just think he leaned too far into the comedy shtick / comedy gimmick of his rap
Mm,
career. I think he leaned too heavily and too far into that at times,
mm,
to the part where it hinder you. I think it's the same way when you're dealing with women. Like, okay, yeah, you want to make the women you deal with laugh. You want them to, think you entertain and thinking that you're funny and everything, but you don't want to do it so much that they're like, oh, this nigga a clown, or oh,
yeah.
this nigga just a fucking goofy, or something like that. And I think it kind of basically kind of started going that way, like, okay, some like nigga, okay, sometimes you a little too silly. Sometimes nigga, you a little too, you know, uh into that. And then on top of that, some of the beats pretty much match that. They kind of were playful beats. They kind of were lively, cartoonish kind of beats to kind of go with that kind of persona that you was trying to do. You had the hard shit, you had the, just straight up hip hop, but I felt like that was more few and far between than the playfulness / kind of childish / joking shtick that he would do. And I think that was kind of more present. Like I say, in Muddy Waters, it was there, but it wasn't there as much. And then Malpractice, I think he kind of found that right balance of both, that hard but kind of still funny shit on there too, or comedic, whatever you want to do. It wasn't too far one way or too far the other. But I just think that was something that he kind of suffer from a lot of his career. Just, I don't know if he just took it serious enough.
Mm,
I don't know if, I don't know if he was taking, and I'm not saying he had to, but I'm just saying that, you know, it just seemed like that from the outside looking in, he kind of got to the point where it's like, I know I'm good at it, but I'm, I want to have fun with it too. I don't want to just make it so serious like what other nigga, like a maybe like a Kiss might do. He's another fucking good one. Actually, I should have put him on the fucking list. Jada Kiss is another nigga who, if you just had better fucking beats, my guy, my boy, you would have been so much better off in this damn game. Cause you know, he's another one where it's like, nigga, can you kind of got to be a beat genius to really encompass this nigga, what he bringing to the mic. Cause
I
Kiss just was so, I don't know. You can't just give him any old bullshit. You got to give him that heat, and he gonna give you that heat back if you give it to him. If you don't give it to him, I don't think you can get it.
mm. Those are two good ones. Like the Jada is kind of like an afterthought too. Like I should have had him on my list as well. Like with Jada, uh now he's had some hits, definitely. He's had some
Yeah,
radio hits.
yeah,
But yeah, he definitely needed better beat selection to match his level of MC. But the shit that keep him going is because he is such a great MC that is constantly mentioned and respected. And then you got the Locks as well, with that legacy. So that's what kind of kept him going. With Red, I didn't think I was gonna agree with you at all about Red Man, but now that I'm really looked over it, for me, it begins in '92 with What the Album, and then it ends at 2001 Malpractice. Everything after that, now that I'm really looking at it, everything after that was very mid with the beats. It was just not
yeah,
there at all.
yeah. That's why I'm just saying, like, that's why. And I try to tell you, you know, that's why I'm trying to tell niggas context matters. We
Yeah.
gotta, I know you be ready to pull your pitchforks out and fire on me. I get it, but like, I get it. But you sometimes, if every time somebody say some old ridiculous sounding shit, ridiculous sounding, you know, sometimes it's a reason. Sometimes niggas just be trolling and just saying any old dumb shit. But sometimes niggas got a point to say, or a unique perspective to bring on shit that people don't think about. And when I say some of the things that I think about, I don't think nobody thinks about some of the things that I think about because I don't hear nobody else ever saying the shit. That's why I say it. Because I'm like, if I'm the only one who's thinking this shit, well, I'm gonna be the only one saying it too, because I wanted to be out there on the record.
Exactly.
So,
hey, keep that same energy. That's why we here doing this shit for sure. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. But yeah, man. That was pretty much all I had on my list. Did you have any
Yeah.
more?
Nah, that's I'm reached the end. Everybody else you got on there
Okay.
too.
Okay. So yeah, man. I think we covered some good ones. I think like I said, some of y'all will agree with us, some of y'all won't. It is what it is.
That's all
You
right.
know, yeah, everybody we named are quality. You know what I mean? It's just we just saying they beat selection could have possibly took them further. It could have added more to their legacy. It could have added more to their worth. But everybody we named are great and fire. You know what I'm saying?
And
Everybody.
nobody's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just is what it is. People get, like I said, they surrounded by yes men. They get caught up in industry bullshit. They lose the drive. They doing other stuff with business. They doing other shit in movies and all that stuff. And a lot of that gets lost in translation when it comes to keeping up with that consistent fire, with the beats and all that shit. So it is
And
what it is.
one last one. One last
Mhm.
one. And this only starts after it starts after what the fuck was the name of that album? Damn it. What was the last album that he came? No, I should know this. I should know. Give me a second. I should know it because it was my favorite one from him. It's Ludacris, but it's only after Theater of the
Oh,
Mind. After Theater of the Mind. So after Theater of the Mind, that's what the shit was called. So the one that came out in 2008. So that album was fucking great. But after that, I don't know. This nigga Luda kind of was just like, fuck it. I'm really in this movie shit. I ain't even listen to Ludaversal to this day. I still need to get around to it just by being a Luda fan. But he was another one. At least after that, it's like he just was not Ludacris no more. Like he is, but it's like you ain't 2000 to 2008 Ludacris. You're not him. The only thing I can liken that to is like The Rock in his prime, like versus The Rock now. Like if you ever see The Rock come back to wrestling and you say you like, yeah, it's The Rock. Oh yeah, it's The Rock. Hell yeah. But you know good and goddamn well it ain't The Rock though. It ain't The Rock with the shit on and the eyebrow and he talking that shit. It ain't the same. It's not the same. You can
right.
kind of you can get memories and you can kind of see points where there it is. There it is. I see it. But no, it's just like he was like, yeah, this movie money, this endorsement money, this white people corporate money is so much better over here than this goddamn bullshit rap dollars you niggas is giving out.
Yes.
And it just didn't
No.
seem like he put the same effort or the same anything into the shit, to the point where I'm like, nigga, why don't you just say you done? Just come out and say you retired or whatever. And and he could be one of the few rappers I can actually believe that shit. Because he really ain't been doing nothing, now that I think about it, he ain't did shit since that album, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-mm.
And then the Battle of the Sexes shit, that shit wasn't for me either. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this shit.
No, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, Luda, he another one. He overall he's not mentioned enough.
No.
Uh Luda, the flows and beats used to be crazy. But yeah,
Ridiculous.
it did kind of die down a little bit. I
Dried
would
up.
say listen to the Ludaversal with some stuff on there but not like that. But yeah, he's another one. I just think the acting and everything else he had going on, you know what I'm saying? Everything else became secondary. But yeah, but like I said, all these guys were great artists. They still great artists. But yeah, that was just the message today. The beats fucking matter, y'all. You know, like I said, I think just if everybody adopted that mentality as much as you possibly can, try to come up with that undeniable shit. If you feel it's undeniable, if your people feel it's undeniable, and they ain't a whole bunch of yes man ass niggas, I think putting your foot forward that way, most of the time you're gonna win. You know, because the beat fucking matters. I don't care what kind of MC, from the ignorant shit to the intelligent shit. We need the music. We need the beats. So
Yep.
that's just the message. Yeah, but man, we appreciate everybody showing the love and support. Like I said, you've been watching Quest Convo, where we talk the culture because we are the culture. Please continue to make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, share, and please hit them comments. Hey, me and Dev here for all the smoke. Let us know what you think, what you feel, whether you agree, whether you think we on bullshit, whatever it is. We here
Let
for
us
all
know.
of it. Right.
Let us know. We gonna keep giving you the real. We expect the same from y'all.
For sure, definitely. Definitely make sure you hit that the notification bell so you are aware when we drop Quest Convo, when we drop all the other content, the new music reviews, the flavor culture, all that good stuff. Make sure you stay connected. Also, check out, like I said, dopest hip hop tees. If you really want to support some people that support the culture, that are of the culture, and trying to bring you that real shit, check out dopesthipHoptees.com. Once again, they are made for cool people that love hip hop. So, hey, we out of here. Until next time, y'all keep it real. You've been watching Quest Convo. I'm Drew SoulQuest.
And I'm Dev Devious.
Oh yeah, we out of here.
Yes, sir.